Hey guys, welcome back to the second episode of the podcast. I'm really excited for this one, and just a bit of reference, this one is a little bit different to the first one. Here's a bit of background on what's happening, right? So, I'm recording this off my laptop, right, in my living room, right? So it's nice and comfortable, it's chill, it's all cool, right? And then I have to, because I'm recording this, right, on voice recorder, right, standard voice recorder that you get on a laptop. And then I'm transferring it to a USB, and then to my main computer, and then to the editing software, and then to YouTube. And then back to this one, and then to YouTube, because we went to internet difficulties. But the point is, there is going to be a lot of sending this video left and right everywhere. So if there are like little problems within the stream or within the actual footage in general, I'm really sorry for that. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So, episode number 2. I'm really excited about this one, and the reason I'm excited about this one is because as soon as I did the first one, I was like, okay, I really want to record the second one, but I don't want to make it too soon, right? Because we don't want to overload people with podcast episodes. And it came to a point, right, where I was like, okay, I'm going to set myself a timer, right? And as soon as that timer goes down, I'm allowed to make it, because I've been dying to make this episode for so long now, right? The podcast was brilliant. I loved it more than I thought I would. And I was like, okay, well, here's what's going to happen. You will have a week, right? A week, because that's a good amount of time. Sometimes it upload 2 months ago. 2 months ago, it was I think it was about a month in between uploads, which is really bad. But I was like, okay, we can fix this. So I'll give myself a week. Right, that was one point, if you guys remember, where I uploaded for a straight week. That was really fun. Lost the hang of that at the point. It got really difficult, I think, with all the keeping up with things. But that was really fun. So if you guys do want to see a bit more of an organised schedule, we can look into getting that, because I definitely know, people would like to say, okay, let's tune in at this time, see what's going on, see how things are going. So if you guys do want to see that, just let me know. We'll organise it. We'll get it done. Oh, dust on the mic. Sorry for that noise. But I was like, you know what? Because I enjoyed that so much, I enjoyed that first episode so much, that making a second one right here, right now, was so exciting, right? And there was so much stuff I want to talk about, so much stuff I have planned. And believe it or not, speaking of stuff I have planned, we have a very interesting and special guest who's coming on very, very soon. 4th or 5th episode, probably somewhere around there. Because we're just going to start getting, people are coming on there, and joining the podcast, have conversations and whatnot. And I cannot wait for that. I cannot wait, because it's going to be so fun. If you guys have any recommendations of sort of people you like to speak to, other motivational speakers, entrepreneurs, whoever that is, be sure to just drop it in the comments right now, and we will see what we can do and try and make it happen. Obviously, we won't be. Obviously, it might be a little more difficult to get Mark Zuckerberg on for the first 2 episodes, but we'll see what we can do. Hey. So, today's episode. What's going to make today's episode so special? I have a very interesting story. And this story was from 2-3 months ago, right? I had a friend, and I've spoken a lot about some friends on this channel, on these podcasts. And this friend was a very special friend, right? Because they always wanted to do one thing, right? And this wasn't one specific thing, but in general, they would always want to do one thing, right? So if it came to a decision, it would be really easy for them, right? Because they would always have one decision. It wouldn't be, I can't decide between this and this. It would just be, I want to go for that one. And sometimes I got a bit envious of that, right? Nothing bad, obviously. I didn't go breaking stuff because I was jealous of it. But I was like, it must be so brilliant just to know that your mind's so set on something. And he was like, well, you know what? I mean, it's less of a choice and more of a feeling. I go, what do you mean? He goes, when I see something I like, right, or a feeling that it comforts me, I tend to naturally sway towards that more. I'm like, but you make these decisions in seconds. If you even call it decisions, like, you know what to do. And he goes, well, it's more of a long-term thought process behind that. Okay, explain. He goes, I will think of it for days and days and days on. I'm like, but what if you didn't know what that thing is before then? Right? You might be a little confused or lost, but the point is, he always had the right decision. And the reason I bring this up, right, is because he follows the one saying, and I love quotations and whatnot on this, on the videos and podcasts. He says, go with your gut, right? He always goes with his gut. I was like, okay, so how do you know it works? He goes, trust me, if you always go with your gut, it will work. I was like, all right, so I'll try it for a day. I mean, I didn't end up on the moon or something. Didn't end up in another country. But I will admit, if it wasn't for going with your gut, there are a lot of things, I probably would have missed out on, because I've been trying that recently, right? It's been about 2-3 months now, right? And I've been trying that. I've been going with my gut. But the reason this is so important is because a lot of the time in life we will have decisions. We constantly have decisions in life. And when people don't know how to react to these decisions, they will naturally sway towards they will naturally sway towards one way or another, right? And sometimes that's not the best way to go towards, right? And so how do you know how to make the good decision, right? If I'm in a test and I've got an A, B, C, and D, right? I've got to pick one. I have no clue what the answer is, right? No clue what the answer is. I've got to pick one, right? So you might be thinking, okay, well, process of elimination, that could work. Or you might be thinking else, right? And the truth is, the only thing that worked in that scenario was, going with my gut, going what I thought was most realistic to that answer. And the reason I bring this up is so important because, obviously, I said we have a lot of options and we have a lot of things in life where it comes to path A or path B, right? But you have to listen to yourself. You will have people around you who will try and tell you what to do. You will have people who say, you know what, for your GCSEs, or I don't know what it is in America for the equivalent, but for your GCSEs, you have to study this, and this, right? And sometimes that might be helpful, right? But only to an extent. You can't have people helicopter in your life 24/7 because then you're not going to learn anything, right? Independence is just as important as success, You cannot be successful if you do not have some level of independence. And that's not even being successful. To have no independence at all in life, to have no control, to have no ability to think for yourself, it's less like free will as opposed to a video game, right? Your life's like a video game. And when you see people in the news, right, like you'll see a video saying, I don't know if you've seen it on the news before, kid drives car on the motorway or something like that, right? Or kid steals car and drives it away. If someone's life's been so, like they've been told what to do for so long and they've been said, you know what, you have to do this, then you're naturally, at some point or another, going to break, right? Every time you get told you have to do something, you're going to, it's going to fill up the jug, right? And when the jug of water hits the top, right, it's just going to overflow. And when it overflows, that's when the emotions do as well. That's when things start rolling in. And this is so important because if we don't learn, this could be with friends, this could be with family, you can even do this with yourself. If you do not listen to yourself and the things that you need and the things that you want before it's too late, you're going to explode. And so it's really important to think for yourself sometimes. So, I think that was a cool little tangent there. But in terms of today, have you said thank you? Have you said thank you? Have you breathed? Well, of course you're breathing, otherwise you wouldn't listen to this. Thank you. That's thank you for everything. And you know what I love saying? I love saying thank you on these, right? Because it is so important to say thank you. And it's so simple. Again, I think I mentioned it last video. Karate Kid, right? Mr. Miyagi, what did he say? He said, I think it was a bait. I can't remember how he said it actually. I'm probably going to completely mess this up. But he said, when all's too stressful, go back to the most simple thing, which is breathing. And if you think about it, you might just think it's a movie thing, but if you do it in real life, right, it's almost like a form of meditation. Because to be able to relax your mind and to send yourself to a place of such simpleness, where it's just all you have to focus on is your breathing. then it allows you to realise and de-stress yourself. Because when you're breathing, that's the only thing that's important. All that's important is focusing not on the moment, but on yourself. So it's like when people listen to rainwater. Do you ever listen to rainwater? And you'd be sat by the window. You might be there for an hour. You might be there for however long, right? And you just be sat there, and you'll listen to it. And you're not thinking about anything else. You're thinking about the moment. Sorry, not the moment. But you're reflecting on the moment. And that doesn't literally mean you're thinking about the rain. It means you're almost tuning into it. And you're probably thinking I'm going a little mental right now. But if you can relate, be sure to let me know so I know I'm not going crazy. I need to sit back a little. This. I'm not gonna lie, right? Doing this on the couch is so much more comfortable. But I have seen a lot of motivational speakers, right? I love listening to motivational speakers, not because they're the main source of my motivation, but more because I like to see where their information comes from, right? If you look at famous motivational speakers, right? Tony Robbins, if you look at some of the stuff he does, he will always say, right, I am so fixated on finding people and how they success in certain areas, whether that's relationships, finance, whatever that is. He is fixated on finding how those people do that, which is really good, right? It is good to be able to take things from take information from other people. But the reason that is so smart and the reason that is so valuable is because you are only as strong as as strong as you are, right? And that sounds really stupid, obviously, but you are only capable to go to your max. And if you can listen to what other people say and how other people do things, then they're doing it for you. There was a saying, I'm pretty sure it was Steve Jobs, don't quote me on that. He said, if I'm looking for a difficult job, I will find a lazy person to do it because they will find an easy way to do it, right? I don't know where I saw this actually, but it was true. Because if you think about it, right, I saw some comments on that, right? And it said, I told my secretary to get me 145 blank pieces of paper. So instead of going to the paper room, right, they printed off 145 blank pieces of paper. But the reason that was so interesting is because if you find, that lazy person, lazy or smart, I think smart, their method was to find ways around it, right? It was to look outside the box, which is exactly what Tony Robbins does, right? He looks around things as opposed to looks deep into them individually. If he spent his whole life listening to himself and and sticking on one certain path, he wouldn't be able to learn things, whether that's with relationships or friendships or finance, right? And that is why this podcast is so useful, right? For me, for you, for anyone who watches it, because we will all learn things off each other. It is a win-win-win, and that is very rare to find. Because to find a win-win in general, right, where you both benefit from something, is good, right? But there's always a catch. There's always a place where it's like, okay, all right, well, I'm not too sure. Whereas with this, it's motivation, it's content for information and motivation, right? It's motivation for motivation. It's information for information. It's true, which is why it's called true. Believe it or not. Bringing me on to something else, right? I have learned something very, very valuable recently, right? And the reason this is so valuable is because it has nearly everything to do with how we live in today's world. Bringing me on to social media. And I know we've been through 3 different subjects already, but, that's the way these podcasts are. Social media. The reason I'm bringing social media up right now is because I have seen a lot of stuff everywhere, right? Where they are saying, I think it was a TikTok actually, because I rarely watch TikToks. And it said, right now, you are a robot. And I listened to it, right? I was interested. And that's okay. And they went, how many TikToks have you scrolled through before you got to this one, right? And I checked, right? I was like, okay, well, how many did I scroll through? I scrolled through 35. 35 different TikToks. And you may be thinking, well, why is that such an issue, right? Why is that such an issue? Sometimes I'll watch 120, right? But if you think about it and you go, okay, 35 different TikToks, what could have I been doing with a friend, a family member, whoever? Or could I be working or whatever could I be doing with those 35 different TikToks, right? And I was like, okay, how much time do we actually spend on social media? So I go onto my Instagram. You know how you can see your screen time over the past week, right? Over the past week, I had 6 hours of screen time. And you're probably thinking, well, that's not even a lot. If you think about those 6 hours, right? Most of your life is going to be you sleeping, apparently. Again, I'm not quoting me on that. But majority of your life, if you sleep such as the average person, will be sleeping. And then you take away another 6 hours for me, right? Because I'm not saying I go on TikTok every day for 6 hours or Instagram for 6 hours a day. But then you look at that, it's like, okay, well, how much time we're actually spending? How much time we're actually spending with the ones we love, right? How much time we're spending with the people we know? And that gets so short, right? And you go, oh my god. Oh my god. Because there is a difference on social media between useful and non-useful content, right? I mean, and you've you've hurt yourself and you go, how to or it's a DIY or whatever, right? Sometimes that will be useful, right? Such or even this, right? For example, this would be classed as useful social media because this is for mental health. This is for day-to-day life. But if you look at something such as, not trying to dig at anyone here, but for example, Addison Rae, Charli D'Amelio, right? These guys are dancing, okay, good for them. I support what they're doing, right? But in those 15 seconds you watch scrolling through that TikTok, that then adds up, right? Those 15 seconds you are never going to get back. You are never going to get back that time. When that time is gone, it is gone. There is no round 2 for this. That is a one-time opportunity that has just been thrown out the window. That is gone. People mistake themselves for having time. Trust me, time is not your friend. Time is definitely not your friend. Time is healing, that is true. Time will heal stuff. But time is not your friend. Because life is like a race, right? And I'm not saying race definitely in your life. That is not what I'm saying. You only have so much time. I mean, I saw a video, right, where it's like, this is how many weeks you have, and it was a visualized one, right? So I think it was I can't remember what it was. I think it might have been a magnets, right? And it was one magnet for every week of your life, and it showed you from 18 to 24 to 56 and you realize how much of that, how small it is. I mean, if you think about it, right? It doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter where you are, who you are. Doesn't matter if you're newborn, right? I don't think any newborns are watching this video right now. But the point is, I am not saying rush life. I am saying value your time you have. People say live every day like it's the last day. I'm going to rephrase that. Live every day like it's the best day. Because if we treat every day like we're having a bad day and we think, okay, you know what? Things aren't going my way today. Things aren't in my direction. Life isn't helping me out. I'm on the lower hand. I need some support. I need some, reason to be excited. If you need a reason to be excited, then that is your first problem. You should be thankful that you woke up. You should be excited that you got chosen to be on this earth. You should be thankful and you should be excited to know that you had time and that you have time. That is what should make you excited. When you scroll through Instagram and you see all these people on their yachts living their $1 million lives, that should not be your goal to get excited. That should not be what you want to aim for. Your time and your success should be aimed at who you spend it with and how you spend it. Because I promise you guys, you will find far more value spending time with the people you love as opposed to spending time just trying to be someone you're not. Whether that's on social media, whether that's talking to people, by being yourself and using the time valuably, you will see that come back to you emotionally with the people you love. Trust me. And there is one thing, right, it's on my logo, right? My slogan. If you haven't seen it already, go to my website. I have a blog on there. It's connected to all my socials. Don't spend too long going through it, otherwise I'll be a hypocrite. But yeah, no, if you do want to check anything out, it's Samuel Joseph Collins. That is my Instagram. Do not spend too long on it because trust me, you don't want to waste your time. And I probably shouldn't be saying that as a content creator, but that's me being 100% honest with you guys. That is how honest I'm being. But the reason I use social media myself, because if I didn't have this, I wouldn't be using social media at all, is to reach out to you guys, right? My main purpose of this is to reach out to all you guys. Whether you're in America, Germany, I don't care where you are. The point is that's what social media is used for. But my slogan is, right, it says, always keep smiling. Or, almost forgot my slogan was then. And people will look at that, right, and they go, you know what? I disagree. And I ask them, why you disagree? And they'll go, because you can't always keep smiling. I said, you're missing the point. If it says always keep smiling, that is not saying be happy when things are going completely wrong. That means always look up. I am not saying to you when you're going through your hardest times in life to fake your smile. I am saying to try to pull yourself back up. When you've hit rock bottom, when you've hit rock bottom, there is only one place you can go, which is up. And so when I say always keep smiling, I do not mean fake your life. I mean to pull yourself back up. Whew, that got deep, that got intense, wow. Whew. But moving on to another point, right? You are doing well. You are doing well. I said it in my last one, I say it today. You are doing well. Look at your loved one next to you. If you've got a loved one, I don't know. Run downstairs right now. Run upstairs right now. Run to their house right now. Let them know on text. Let them know on FaceTime. I don't care how it is. You let them know that you're thankful for them and that you love them. Give you a second to do that. Okay, I don't know if you could run to your friend's house that quickly, but if you have, well done. That was quite impressive. Anyway. Guys, my dog just came to say hello. You right, Gash? He's alright, he's having a good day. You want to say hi? Take that as a no. Tough crowd. But if you guys did enjoy this, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you want to donate to the GoFundMe, it'll be in the description down below. We're starting a new business, new startup. Hope you guys have a good day. Keep smiling. See you guys in the next one. See you then.